Let me tell you about one of the most fascinating figures in American history, Stephanie St. Clair, also known as Madam Queen of Harlem. In the glittering, dangerous world of 1920s New York, she wasn't just another face in the crowd. She was a force of nature. Picture this: a black woman, an immigrant from Martinique arriving in New York with nothing but a few $100s and an iron will. While most would have played it safe, Stephanie had bigger plans. She built an empire in Harlem running numbers, an illegal lottery that gave hope to thousands of black residents who were shut out of mainstream banks and businesses. But here's where the story gets really interesting. When notorious gangster Dutch Schultz decided to muscle in on Harlem's territory, most people would have backed down, not Madame Queen. She stood her ground against one of the most dangerous white mob bosses in New York, refusing to let him exploit her community. She didn't just fight with guns and muscle. Though she had plenty of those, she fought with words, taking out advertisements in local newspapers to expose police corruption and warning her community about Schultz's tactics. Can you imagine the courage it took? A black woman in the 1920s publicly challenging both the mob and corrupt police officers? What made St. Clair truly remarkable wasn't just her criminal enterprise. It was how she used her power. She employed black residents when most wouldn't give them jobs. She fought against police brutality and corruption when others stayed silent. She even used her profits to support civil rights causes and local businesses. The most incredible part? When Schultz was finally gunned down by rivals, St. Clair famously took out an ad in the newspaper, celebrating his death. That's the kind of fearless attitude that made her a legend in Harlem. While we can't condone the illegal aspects of her business, Stephanie St. Clair's story reminds us that sometimes the most powerful acts of resistance come from unexpected places. In an era when black Americans, especially women, had few paths to power, she carved her own way and used that power to protect her community. Her legacy lives on in Harlem to this day, not just as a criminal figure, but as a symbol of defiance against oppression and exploitation. Sometimes heroes come in complicated packages, and Madam Queen was nothing if not complicated.